This video contains the following trigger words. If you are sensitive to any of the topics listed on your screen, do not continue watching. If you are watching this video, you likely will have heard of Amogus. If you don't know what that is, the CDC defines it as the inability to dissociate reality from the popular 2018 video game, Among Us. The symptoms of Amogus are listed here. Recognition of objects as characters from Among Us. Everyday use of slang, such as sus. Translating aspects of Among Us to real life, such as ejecting people or calling emergency meetings. If you are suffering from any of these symptoms, this video may help your recovery from Amogus. However, the best way to treat Amogus is to prevent yourself from contracting it. Unlike normal diseases, Amogus cannot be treated with antibacterials or other modern medicine, so it is much more difficult to get rid of. Using these 3 simple tips, you can minimize your exposure to Amogus. Number 1. Avoid. The best way to prevent exposure to Amogus is to cut yourself off from all possible sources of it. Since we are currently in a global pandemic, shutting yourself away should be no problem. Avoid places that can contain objects that tend to evoke thoughts of Among Us. If you have Amogus trash cans in your house, replace them as soon as possible. Avoid looking at your thumbs and take any other actions needed to rid your household of Amogus. However, it is also easy to be exposed to Amogus over the internet. The easiest way to counteract this is to cut off your internet connection entirely. It has been noted that completely cutting off your connection to the outside world can be difficult or even counterproductive, so only do this if you are very concerned about Amogus. Number 2. Anticipate. If you choose not to cut off your internet connection, you can still make sure you avoid Amogus online. Avoid dangerous websites such as Reddit and Twitter. If you see an Amogus video and you're recommended on YouTube, do not click it. Doing so will tell the algorithm that you aren't interested in Amogus. If you want to take this a step further, you can even click Not Interested using the 3 bars next to the video. If you have to go into an Amogus-heavy website, make sure you can quickly navigate to where you need to go, blocking out any Amogus-related things along the way. Number 3. Block. In the event that you've seen an Amogus object online or in person, certain steps must be taken to ensure it does not stick in your memory. First, upon seeing the object, try to avoid thinking of Among Us, although this might be hard. Second, if you have already connected the object to Among Us, try to think of something else the object looks like and connect it to that instead. Third, if you are unable to break the connection, you can lash out against the object. This clip from the television show Better Call Saul shows what you should do in these situations. This will establish your dominance over the inanimate object and will subconsciously prevent you from being affected by it in the future. However, these tips can only go so far. In the event that you contract Amogus, the process to rid yourself of it is a long and difficult one, but it is possible. The number 1 tip given to recovering Amogus patients is to stay positive. If you give in to Amogus, even for 1 second, that can send you back to square one, which could lose you weeks or even months. The first step to curing yourself of Amogus is knowing you have it. I will now show a few images on screen. If any one of these images reminded you of the Among Us characters, you may have Amogus. If you believe you are suffering from Amogus, steps can be taken to recover, although it is very time-consuming. First of all, you need to avoid Among Us imagery, online and in real life. This helps to establish a boundary between the video game and real life. Second, one thing that a lot of patients have found helpful is to attend group therapy, such as Amogus Anonymous. Talking with other people who have the same problem as you can help massively in your recovery. When you are at risk, it is important that you don't give in to peer pressure. If your friends are saying things such as
Sus, you're sus,
and
you are a part of your sus,
do not join in. A survey run by the CDC indicated that 1 in 5 adults suffer from some degree of Amogus. To put that in perspective, if you had 5 adults, 1 of them would probably suffer from Amogus. This number gets even higher when talking about children, where an estimated 1 in 3 show symptoms. In order to get a better understanding of how Amogus is affecting our youth, we talked to Dr. Jeremy Tube, an expert in Amogus.
Yes, so the number 1 problem in these children is that they're exposed to Among Us very early on and they develop an inability to differentiate between the real world and Among Us. You know, they start saying things like the imposter is us in normal context, and it's just really embarrassing and sends them into a downward spiral.
As he said, the effects of Amogus essentially stem from the game Among Us, but it is possible to play the game without getting Amogus. Of course, it is less risky to avoid the game, but if you absolutely must play it, I would personally recommend turning your settings down so the game looks really bad. Avoid using Among Us slang, especially sus, in other words associated with the game. Make sure your kids don't have access to any Among Us content and subscribe to the channel for more updates regarding this epidemic.